What if anxiety was simply removed from the human brain? No anticipation of danger. No racing thoughts before uncertainty. No background tension preparing you for what might go wrong. You would still see the world. You would still understand risks. But your body would no longer react. What would happen to human behavior? If the emotion designed to anticipate threat went silent? Anxiety is often misunderstood. It is not fear. It is not panic. It is not weakness. Anxiety is prediction. It is the brain simulating futures that have not happened yet. From an evolutionary perspective, anxiety allowed humans to survive environments filled with uncertainty. It prepared the body before danger appeared. It created caution before mistakes were made. Most of the time, anxiety works silently. It tightens attention. It slows impulsive action. It asks a quiet question: what could go wrong? Now imagine that question disappearing. At first, the absence of anxiety would feel like relief. No nervous anticipation. No mental rehearsal of failure. No constant background alertness. Decisions would feel easier. Sleep would deepen. The body would feel lighter. Social situations would lose tension. Uncertainty would no longer provoke discomfort. This would feel like freedom. But anxiety does more than create discomfort. It creates hesitation. Without it, the mind stops pausing before uncertain actions. An anxious mind evaluates. It simulates consequences. It imagines loss. It weighs outcomes. Without anxiety, decisions become immediate. Risk no longer triggers resistance. Potential failure no longer slows action. People would still understand danger intellectually, but the emotional signal to stop would be gone. Crossing boundaries would feel easier. Ignoring consequences would feel natural. Not because people want harm, but because nothing inside them signals caution. The result is not recklessness. It is smoothness. A world where action flows without internal friction. Anxiety shapes identity more than people realize. It influences what individuals avoid. It defines limits. It creates internal boundaries. Without anxiety, identity becomes more expansive. People would try more, fail more, recover faster, but they would also reflect less. Without internal tension, mistakes would not linger. The mind would move forward without looking back. Self-awareness would shrink, not because intelligence disappears, but because discomfort no longer demands reflection. Anxiety plays a subtle role in relationships. It creates sensitivity to social feedback. It encourages restraint. It prevents emotional overreach. Without anxiety, social interaction becomes easier, but flatter. People would speak freely. Boundaries would blur. Embarrassment would fade. Conflict might decrease in intensity, but also in resolution. Apologies would feel optional. Social repair would lose urgency. Relationships would still exist, but emotional calibration would weaken. At a societal level, anxiety acts as distributed caution. It slows systems down. It prevents rapid escalation. It introduces friction into collective behavior. Without anxiety, systems accelerate. Innovation increases. Risk-taking multiplies. Exploration expands. But so do failures. Institutions would compensate. Rules would grow stricter. Monitoring would increase. External controls would replace internal hesitation. The society without anxiety does not become fearless. It becomes regulated. Anxiety feels like an obstacle, but it is also a brake. Without it, life becomes easier for the individual and more unstable for the collective. Without anxiety, the mind feels free. But freedom without anticipation creates fragility. Anxiety may feel like a flaw, yet it may be the invisible tension holding human behavior in balance. So the question remains, what if anxiety isn't a malfunction of the mind, but the cost of being aware of the future? This was a social experiment by AC Society.